Welcome everyone to the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity, Day 18 afternoon session for Monday, July 31st, 2017. And I think we have Caroline with us today to direct the afternoon's activities. And I think she has a plan. You have a plan, Caroline?
Of course I have a plan. Oh, Toppoli too. Of course we have a plan. And I hope you all came in dancing with this beautiful noise we call music, which makes your body to move. Hello everybody, welcome. Yes, we have a big plan. If Rick can start the screen, please, so we all can start completing the beginning of the Blueprint for Humanity that everybody can read, confirm that they are part of this beauty.
Do you want, is this the gratitude to Mother Earth that we're doing here now, or?
If you can give us what we did by Friday, the same template, then you see the beginning of the first wish.
Okay, let's get that up.
I think a lot of people came in with the wish to complete their wishes, their wish to come and participate in the true sense that the soul is moving.
Okay, get the screen share here. Make it a bit smaller, so make sure I fit it on my screen, and then I can increase this. Okay, this is the document you wanted, isn't it?
Exactly. Thank you, Rick. So we're opening our work with I offer you peace, I offer you love, I offer you friendship, I see your beauty, I hear your need, I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. Humanity's blueprint for peace. And this is exactly what we all have been doing in the last weeks, days, hours, day and night, some in the daytime, some at night, because they are at work and they can only listen in their free time. So if you can move it up, please. And then the wish that should be the letter of peace, yeah? That's the one, or is this a personal letter from somebody who wrote in his personal name?
This was originally Mark's wish. I wish for world leaders to declare peace, and that was answered with the peace letter.
Ah, yeah. Okay, but you have to separate that wish from that person and distinguish the letter of peace which has been sent to the world leaders, that it stands on its own because it's signed by the councils. So that is Mark's wish, and then underneath he confirms to increase the power of the wish. as so many other souls have done the same. Then the World Peace Treaty. And then I would like to, before the first wish, the councils have made a wish which I sent to you. That's the wish of opening the doors to the Universal Councils, that we have requested support for humanity in their peace process. Is that possible? Do you have Moshfek supporting you?
No, I don't.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Welcome, Moshfek.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just trying to find that one. I have it here somewhere.
Rick, do you want me to post a link for that one? The letters for the Mother Earth? Is that's
no,
what
no,
I'm
That's not the one we're talking about, though. I got that.
It's the wish we were writing together for the universal communities to open their doors.
Let me look for it.
Thank you.
Okay, I think I have it here. The Universal Council wish, the 4 wishes, correct?
No. It's one wish which was made before we drafted the letter to the world leaders, that the universal communities would open their doors. Moshfak will bring it forward.
I have it. I will post the link to Rick. Let me join them.
It's just a warming up process. Once we are there, everything will start going smoothly.
Okay. Yeah, maybe MOSFET can do the editing. It's been suggested by Vince, and I suggest that's a good idea.
Yep. Just be a little bit patient till we get it up and running. Rick, do you have the copies from the wishes from last week, which we couldn't handle anymore?
Yeah, I have them ready to go. And some people may be here this week and may want to change their wish a bit too, so that's possible.
Yeah, we will work on the wishes to make sure everybody is happy, because when the soul is happy, then the wish is working.
Rick, you have the link now.
Can you participate on the screen?
Yes, I can edit.
Okay. Because Rick is keeping a lot of other things in the background in order. Shh,
Okay, let me bring that up. Is that the correct one? Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Make it a bit bigger.
Yes.
Okay, so we add this wish to the top of the
underneath on top of the public wish, underneath the peace treaty.
Okay, all right.
That's how the universal councils have worked together to work to get this support. Okay. You're happy with it?
Okay, so I'm just adding this right now to the end of the other document. Not end of the, but right after the peace treaty.
Yeah.
Okay, it's there. Let me just change that to the page. Okay, that should be good. Okay, so I've just added it to the public wish, so we can switch to the other document perhaps. Now we have the wish that I just copied. We don't need this document anymore, I think.
Okay, if you can go down, and then we can see the first 11 wishes which we have corrected and put in a beautiful form. Now we are starting.
We were going to put the letter to Mother Earth in there. Does that go?
Yes. Under the one you just added, this wish, underneath that you put the letter of Mother Earth, so we can all start working together on it.
Okay, and then you can see the wishes underneath. Did you want to scroll through those?
These gonna go under the letter of Mother Earth.
Okay.
Because I think she has priority above all the wishes. Because if we don't show our respect and pay our gratitude to Mother Earth, I don't think we can add sufficient enough from our soul to make the wishes to be completed. Yeah, above PIM, and then you have to scroll these down, and then the letter of Mother Earth comes above PIM.
Well, there's a bunch of people above PIM, actually. This is the bottom here now, but goes PIM, and then Marie, Marston,
You have to
Thomas.
go above.
Yeah.
Above.
Peggy is the first one.
Peggy's the first one.
Okay, I'll move Peggy to the next page.
Or you're gonna have to keep on scrolling them down because the letter will be more than one page. By the time
we'll just keep some space for now, and then we can add more later.
Yep.
Okay.
Because the letter is not a small one, Moshfaq.
Yes. Yeah, I have that document too, so we can switch to that one. And I think Rick has the link as well. And if we had to let's make it in the other document, and once we are done there, we can move it here.
Okay, I'll bring that up. And you're able to access it too, I guess. So
yes.
Okay. So that's the correct one, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's the correct one.
So we need to change the title. And because this letter had a totally different purpose. When I read through the letter, something clicked on me, but much later. And then the wish came before and move this letter down, and we haven't had no chance, although I said quite a few times that we would bring it forward, but I had a reason why we didn't work on it as council members. It just cut. We didn't simply have no more time. We worked on other wishes which were now coming into place, and now I understand, because at the moment I moved the letter down, I even forgot to tell the team that this would be a perfect, beautiful letter to express our gratitude to Mother Earth. And now this is the reason why it came here, because we all can work on it together. We all can show Mother Earth through our respect and our love and our care for what we receive. And if they start opening the letter, as we usually do, with one line or one paragraph, Moshfaq, are you in control of the panel, or?
Yes, I am. I'll be
Okay,
editing.
you know the way we are working. So if you can move it all down and just bring one line at a time up,
okay,
that we can analyze it and rephrase it. It's the same way as we have been working on Friday to reconstruct in a way the wishes.
So let's start with the title, and then the heading, come to the heading next. Right now it's gratitude to Mother Earth. I think we should change it, perhaps change it to something else.
Yeah, we can still change it if you
fine.
just use. Yeah.
It's fine. So let's change the title, which I think is badly in need of change.
Yeah.
So
anybody who has good ideas? What was going through my head was humanity in its path for world peace, or a blueprint for world peace. Depends. Or just humanity is expressing its gratitude to Mother Earth. We can still adjust it. It's just an idea to start.
You can say humanity's gratitude to Mother Earth. Go ahead.
How about letter to Mother Earth from humanity?
Humanity's love letter to Mother Earth.
No, it has to be more than love. Gratitude for all the gifts, I think, will be a little bit more, but we can still go back to it.
Gratitude to Mother Earth's pretty good in itself.
Yeah, it's very simple.
Says it all, simple.
Yeah.
Well, but we're doing more than gratitude here. If it's a letter to Mother Earth, then we're changing a lot of this. We're speaking directly to her.
Yeah.
And we're saying gratitude and appreciation. We realize that the following, because a lot of this is speaking to us waking up and honoring who she is, and in gratitude for who she is, that we are waking up to what is at work and willing to change it.
But we also have to remember not to work through the physicality, although it will be written in a physical form. We are in so many ways more communicating from our position as a soul to Mother Earth as a soul, as an entity.
I think then that should go in the first or second line, that we realize and we send this out not only, in terms of words, but through our souls, to all souls, and to the soul of Mother Earth and all souls on the planet and the universe.
So we cannot lose the track of that as a soul, we are part of her soul, so we are not separated. And the communication line is on soul level. So not so much into the physicality, but that the vessels of the souls can express their gratitude to Mother Earth. So it's in a double way. We have to be careful where we place what. So keep it in mind, please, that we are expressing our gratitude on soul level to another soul. But at the same time, because we are in the physicality, as we are acknowledging that we have behaved as children, we come and express our gratitude on a different level. So those two platforms are beautiful to be intertwined, but always at the level of those 2 points of respect. If you can follow my...
Yes, I think you're absolutely right, Caroline. And I believe then that we need a first paragraph before we begin this text that speaks directly into the gratitude and speaks directly into our connectivity, soul to soul with the Mother Earth, not only in physicality, but also in the soul that we have. The first paragraph really speaks to the gratitude.
I will bring to your attention for understanding more is she is Mother Earth in so many ways. One of us, which one day will reach the same state as she has achieved to become a full life form in the physicality, expressing itself with her full love, which is holding the whole of humanity. This is your future path as souls, the level you can achieve if this is your desire. And this was in the teaching of Mr. Keshe, to evolve, to become a seed like this beautiful soul, Mother Earth, and at the same time, in its full creation, the universe which is surrounding us. So we have to take a lot of things into this. It's not just a simple letter. It contains much more. And because you know your path through the soul and your evolution in the future, now you can understand and you can identify the position of Mother Earth in her creation, what you all can become as a creator. Let's start. If you can increase a little bit the size of the, yeah, because it's very, a little bit more, please. If it doesn't get too big for you lot. Because I'm also taking in that people are looking at their computer screens or bigger screens. I'm working on my iPhone, so if it's not big enough, my eyes start hurting because I have to concentrate too much what I'm reading. So if you can take just the first paragraph and then the rest, just bring it down, Moshfak, that we are not getting confused what is underneath. Okay. So how can we, there it is already. You see, if we remove quite simply, but our planet Earth is life. Now, I know there are a lot of words which I talked to the people who wrote this letter, they're going to have to be removed because we don't worship, not in that sense, like using the words goddess or all the other forms of expressing, where there is nothing wrong with it. But if we are going into the level of the soul, our language also is going to have to be adjusted to the path of the soul. So in the acknowledgement, we're going to have to break it down. So I do not know who wants to start.
Well, I believe if we're stating our gratitude to Mother Earth, that we should begin by addressing her directly.
What if we acknowledge the way she has chosen the path as a soul to be so generous, to take this path as becoming a planet to serve so many other souls?
So I would say something like, Dear Mother Earth, in gratitude and appreciation, we recognize, who you are and speak to that.
So, Mashfaq, if you can remove quite simple. And our planet, yeah. And before this, if you go a little bit down, I think we should state an acknowledgement through our own path or through our own learning path, being souls. In acknowledgement.
What did you say? What did you say? Oh.
In acknowledgement. This is exactly where I was trying to start or kickstart that humanity in its path, shall we say, accepted. We are walking in the path of the soul, and through this acknowledgement, now we can start a direct communication line with you. So in acknowledgement, we human souls, now we can be in a direct, we have taken a direct path of communication with you, soul, Mother Earth, or something in that. That's where we're gonna have to start guiding each other. I'm just trying to give you the topics. We have to acknowledge that we as humans, on soul level, have taken a direct communication path or line with you. what we call you Mother Earth.
How about now we are in direct communication with you?
Yeah. You're going to have to build it up.
With you or with you, the Mother Earth?
You are nourishing soul, which we are calling Mother Earth, because she did not choose that name herself. This is the name we chose for her.
Okay, so what do I write here then? Any more suggestions?
In acknowledgement, we human souls, now we are in direct communication line with you. With your no, she's always been present, darling. I see the chats popping up, so I'm answering straight away if I can catch them. Come on, don't be shy. I know the start is always a little bit difficult, but once we are going, yeah, you get a big smile back from me too.
Well, I think acknowledgement is a little mental, and I'm thinking maybe one begins a little bit more with the heart. So to speak directly to the gratitude and the appreciation, and then an acknowledgement.
Yep.
That we are in direct communication with you. We speak the following from our hearts.
So should I change the acknowledgement to in appreciation or something else?
No, you can keep somewhere the acknowledgement, but it's the start which will change. He flipped.
Okay.
We
All
humans, right. We human souls or something. Or humanity as a soul. Humanity as one soul, because I think this is what we all want. Yeah? Not one, but as a totality, as we are writing the letter as humanity. Humanity as one soul. We are opening the path of gratitude towards your soul for all the beauty we have and we are receiving from you. What do you think?
So where does this one
I
go?
think that's very close, Caroline. Maybe in gratitude and appreciation.
Humanity as a soul. Wipe it all out. Restart.
Okay, I'm going to just add a line here so that humanity
as a soul.
As a soul.
Can somebody help me to remember how I formed the line?
In gratitude and appreciation.
In gratitude.
Somebody says, disappeared. Humanity as a soul. in gratitude and appreciation.
Connects with the soul of Mother Earth.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help me, because when I talk and it cannot be written down so fast, somebody's gonna have to support me in my thoughts, because I cannot recap everything. It just comes to me and then it goes.
I got a few lines for all the beauty. So humanity is the soul in gratitude and appreciation for all the beauty, but I didn't catch the rest, unfortunately. I tried though.
It's true, beauty was one of the key words there.
Beauties.
For all the beauties, I thought you said.
Yeah. For all the beauties.
Humanity as a soul, in gratitude and in appreciation for all the beauties that has been created for us, because she created from being a soul to a state in physicality. Something in that line. Humanity as a soul, in gratitude and in appreciation for all the beauties that have been created for us.
I think you may have said in appreciation for all the beauties and benevolence, but I'm not entirely sure. I think benevolence was in there too.
That's what James says on as human souls, we acknowledge in gratitude and appreciation your beauty and benevolence.
Okay. Adjusted.
Thanks, Rick. I don't have to say it myself now.
That you, or that your soul has created the path for this abundance or something. So humanity as a soul, in gratitude and in appreciation for all the beauties and benevolence that your soul has created the path for this abundance through your creation, which we call Mother Earth.
What about that your soul has nurtured, sustained,
that we have called Mother Earth? She didn't call herself Mother Earth. We have called her Mother Earth. Or we are calling Mother Earth. We have to confirm that we have created this title for her. So humanity as a soul, in gratitude and in appreciation for all the beauties and the benevolence that your soul has created the path for abundance through your creation that we are calling Mother Earth. I think this is humanity, which is recognizing on the soul level, in gratitude and appreciation, all her beauties, all her benevolence, and that she has created it as a soul, and that we are calling her or naming her, which we are calling or naming Mother Earth. You can choose. We are calling her Mother Earth, or we have named her, you, the title Mother Earth. Which will fit best? Because it's the title which we refer to Mother Earth. Because so many souls have called up on Mother Earth as well. Can you move on to the next line, Moshfaq, please? We can always come back and then we get a feeling with the expression.
There is one thing we need to correct, is that I think created is here twice. So your soul has created abundance.
I know.
That we are, something here that needs to be changed. But anyway, we can come back.
Yeah, that's why I want to leave it for a little while. Then people start reading it, analyzing it, and then they can come back with the feedback, and then it all comes clear. It's just to give it a kickstart where we are going, and then it starts forming in your soul to ride the path of gratitude. It's just, we're just giving the keys, and then we're going to start working into correcting and adding and making more beautiful, or in either way it is necessary to adjust it. So that makes it life easier for all of us. Our planet is Earth.
Yvonne wrote in chat here, we as humans are indebted to planet Earth for giving us life, and offer our deepest appreciation for the intelligence given us and the abundance and beauty of our surroundings.
You are never in debt with your own mother. Because whatever has been inflicted to Mother Earth has not been so much by, or it has been created so much by not understanding. That's why we have reached the level of understanding, and now we can express our true acknowledgement of gratitude. A child cannot apologize for something he didn't understand what he was doing wrong. Mr. Keshe brought this very recently back in the teaching. Somebody said we have to write that we are sorry or we apologize. And he said, no, how can you? Because you were not aware of it. So there is no need for forgiveness in this letter. It is the beauty of the souls on the soul level to express this is where the beauty grows. When you acknowledge that the other one, just go back to the first. Remember Gandhi. When you start seeing the beauty, what do? If you want to be remembered, if somebody can read Gandhi's prayer, then it will be much more clear on a path of communication. You do not need to feel lower. You do not need to feel hurt. You do not need to feel embarrassed. You don't need to feel ashamed. You stand in your full proud of your full light to be able to communicate with the beautiful light. And this is the path of the change, as you are acknowledging when you stand in front of a mirror. Do you say, I apologize? Do you say, oh, this is wrong or this is wrong? It is exactly the opposite what we have been trying to give to people. because by seeing the beauty, you elevate yourself to be the beauty. And there is no shame, and there is no fear, and there is no room when that cup is full with such a beauty, with such a life, with such a gift. There's nothing wrong with our mother neither. She still is in her full beauty, so we can communicate on the same level. That's why I said there are a lot of words that are going to have to disappear out of our communication or way of communicating, because it brings our energy down. Because if you submit to something, then you bring your energy down. But if you increase your energy, then you stay beautiful. Then nothing else can move this out of the way. Please be aware of this. It's a change of energy which you receive. And as Mr. Keshe explained, there is no need for apologizing. There is no need for being embarrassed. We are evolving and we are elevating. So we're going to try to write in the most beautiful language as a humanity we can write. Because she is so beautiful. She has the honor to be spoken to in a full process of beautiful gratitude. Please keep it in mind.
Thank you, Carolyn. I think also to recognize that the soul of Mother Earth and our soul spring from the same source, and that she, as being our mother, makes us the child. We, as the child, as the children, have made her a mother.
What if we took advantage of the line that says, my wisdom flows from the highest source, and call it, our wisdom flows from the highest source. We salute that source in you. We could say that to Mother Nature, Mother Earth.
You got it, Rick. That's why I brought this one back, because I opened it up on Friday. You can open this whole wish to express your gratitude to Mother Earth.
We offer you love. We offer you friendship. We see your beauty. We hear your need. We feel your feelings. Our wisdom flows from the highest source. We salute that source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. It really works quite well.
It says it all. Now you have to maybe work on this one and open it up as a gratitude. You're going to get the right expression on the right level. Thank you. You found the path. I was giving hints, but I didn't want to make it myself. So what if we work with this? Copy it, bring it down. And then we are on the same level of communication as Mother Earth is on the same level of communication with us. Then we don't have to stumble over our words, because the essence of the elevation is already embedded in it. So what if we move everything down? Just go under the title. No. Yep. Just push everything down. So now you can start with the first line. Move the others down, and you can work a full sentence out within this first lane. Because if our soul, as humanity, is peaceful, then we can offer it. You understand? So if our intent is there, we create the path. Because this is at the same time, this letter will be more than a gratitude, it will be a complete wish. Because everyone who's going to read this will feel the essence of the expression. So humanity, how are we going to write, we offer you peace?
Well, maybe we offer you peace by becoming peaceful. We offer you love by expressing our love.
Don't stay with the short sentences, please, because then it's just a repeat of somebody who brought something. We're going to have to, we can expand this. You understand the level?
I understand that it should be short sentences, but what do you think about we offer you peace by becoming peaceful? Because
Yes.
we offer it by receiving, taking, and giving back, so it's a balance.
What if we put it in a sentence like, we offer you peace by elevating our souls so we can embrace you with peace? Can you type it out? Don't let my words go lost, please. Because they just go through my head.
We embrace you in peace, right?
No, we offer you peace
By
we offer
elevating
you
our
peace
souls,
by elevating our soul, please, yeah.
so we
Keep-
can embrace you with peace.
So we can elevate.
No, oh, sorry.
We offer you peace
By elevating our souls,
by elevating our souls.
so we can embrace you with peace.
Yep.
Thank you, Libby. That was good, verbatim. That's what we need to just recall it verbatim to start with, and then we can change it if we need to. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Now, we are going to offer you love. Yeah. How are we going to express our love?
By loving your other children, by loving your children. We offer you love by giving our love.
A little bit more. We offer you love.
Which is unconditional.
The way she has loved us, how can we offer her love?
With
you can slightly reverse the title by, we have seen your love. She has expressed her full condition of love. So how are we going to offer this back to her?
By correcting, sorry.
I would say we offer you unconditional love. But go ahead. Who else was there? Was that the...
I don't know, can we, I would like to ask also to put before we offer, to put all the time Mother Earth, we offer you, because then we confirm it is for her. Mother Earth, we offer you, pam, pam, pam. It's
good
like, I would like that, but if it's okay.
No, it's fine.
It felt
it's an acknowledgement.
Stronger, yes. And we can give her love to care more about her. But is that in the physical way? I don't know. and the soul way to enforce our wishes to correct.
There is a word missing in the first sentence. By elevating our souls, we can embrace you in peace, not with peace. I think we can maybe start with, we are acknowledging your expression in the true sense of love. Somebody listened to give it a start, because we're going to have to reverse this.
We have seen your love. Remember, you wanted to start with, we have seen your love and acknowledge. Maybe we have to start with. Also,
Mother Earth.
Yes, Mother Earth is a very good one. Mother Earth, we have seen your love.
We have felt your love.
Felt, there we go. Okay.
Or received your love.
We have received unconditional love. Mother Earth, we have received unconditional love from you.
I think we ought to capitalize the Earth here throughout as well.
Mother Earth, we have received unconditional love from you. And now you're going to have to be careful how humanity will express its love or its appreciation or confirming how we're going to give this love back. How do you express love?
And we confirm that we will radiate this love outwards to everything and everyone.
What if we take her as an example? To show your way of unconditional love to our children, or teach our children.
So it could be, Mother Earth, we have received unconditional love from you, and
Libby, you
taught
heard
our
me?
children.
I did. I didn't get that down, unfortunately. I know that we're trying to tie it into the children. So how do we, Mother Earth, we received unconditional love from you, and commit ourselves to, no, because it's more than a commitment. It's just we will. And we will, and we do. We need a very strong word here to Mother Earth. We have received unconditional love from you. Our children.
And we are teaching our children.
And our future generations will receive that acknowledgement from us.
Yes.
And our future children will receive
generation or children?
Our future generations. This is our offspring. I do not know how you want to express it.
How about, and from now on, our future generations will receive that acknowledgement from us.
And from today.
And from, yes.
And from today onwards. And from today onwards, We will educate our future generations to express their love towards you, unconditional love towards you. Mother Earth, we have received unconditional love from you. And from today onwards, we will educate our future generations to express their unconditional love towards you. In full understanding what love means, or is that already in the title?
The word future is difficult. That means maybe the generation who is now on doesn't need to be educated.
What if we say, and from today we will educate our children and the next generations or future generation, I don't know. It's the next step to express their unconditional love towards you. We can always come back because we get...
How about our children and their children to express their unconditional love?
Then you stop. Then it only goes for 2 generations.
Children's.
And all generations. And all generations.
That's
or just
not bad.
And then what if we just say and all generations?
Coming generation? How about the coming generations?
Yeah. To express unconditional love towards you. How to express? Because we're going to teach them. And they need to learn how. After generations, we will show them and we will educate them and we will teach them how to express their unconditional love towards you. Okay, can we put it to a rest and then come back later to it and take the next line, please? Ah, that's a goodie. I offer you friendship. We can only offer her friendship if we show her friendship. And that will flow out of what? How do we express friendship?
Caring and sharing.
With respect and equality.
No, 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 no. What is a true friendship? What is the meaning of a true friend?
Acceptance.
No, no.
Soul to soul connection.
You have to express who can you be as a real friend. What does that contain?
Be present.
We could perhaps offer to clean up the mess we made in the nursery.
Exactly. Taking responsibility in its totality. So be careful when you make promises, you're going to have to keep them. So that's where you create the new path of humanity, because these will be the paths they will take your next generations to fulfill in the full gratitude to come at the same level of Mother Earth. They don't need to follow in this line if you need to think more. We can go to your beauty, then it gives you some time to recap friendship. What if we go to the beauty? Maybe we can start learning to express what beauty is. Because friendship is a responsibility, a highly responsibility. And it's going to have to cover a lot. So we're going to have a lot of work on that one. Because a friend brings the best in the other on the surface. So if you move friendship for a time being on a pause, we can maybe work on the beauty. How do we see the beauty of Mother Earth as a soul and as a planet? Because those things you are more than aware of. We as humanity see your beauty.
In the skies and in the oceans and in the forests?
No, it's not visually through the plant form or the environment.
We see your beauty within us and in everything around us, you know, in other human beings and other souls, you know, in life and the animals.
How about we see your inner beauty?
What is she expressing exactly as a beauty, as a soul, being created as a planet? What beauty do we see in her creation? Not the physicality, but what does she expresses in her beauty? That we have unlimited sources to sustain there is a protection field around us. The temperature is there, but how has she created those fields? Because everything is in balance.
I've sent my suggestions to the chat, through the chat, just a few, and probably we can look at them and change the tone.
Just bring one at a time forward, Gotwa, please.
Or if Mospec can copy them from the chat.
No, just just read one at a time. We will take the wording to where it can be positioned, please. Otherwise, there are going to be too many sentences there.
Okay,
and those are very confusing.
All right, my first one is, let me look at the Word document that I wrote.
Is it to the topic of beauty?
No, just in general, because I think we have taken the tone of Gandhi, but we would like to have our own tone because we are also creators.
Okay, so to what topic are you referring to? The beauty, friendship, need, feelings, so we can add them to the chapter? Because I'm telling you, we're just giving you an idea. Gandhi can totally even disappear out of this, but it's the essence which I was trying to bring forward.
That's why it would be better to have all of them together so that we look at the tone and decide whether we want them or not.
No, just read them one at a time to see to where, under which chapter they belong, darling.
Okay, first one. We elevate your soul, Mother Earth, by elevating our soul as humanity.
Second one. I think we already covered this in the above.
Second one, we love you, Mother Earth, for forever loving and nurturing our soul.
Don't go too fast, Dr. Quata. We have to be able to follow you.
Okay, we love you, Mother Earth, for forever loving and nurturing our soul. And the third one, we express our gratitude to you, Mother Earth, for abundantly providing for all our needs without let or hindrance.
Repeat that one again, please.
We express our gratitude to you, Mother Earth, for abundantly providing for all our needs without let or hindrance.
What is that meaning, darling?
Without interference. It's continuous. Continuously or forever.
Can you copy that sentence under the to express unconditional love towards you?
It's in the chat, so
you want to copy just that sentence into our
I thought it would be easier to copy them and then discard them if we don't need them. Because they're in the chat.
Somebody can copy paste it. We express our gratitude to you, or Mother Earth, for abundantly providing for all our needs without.
Yeah, the let or hindrance part is not something I would normally doesn't connect with me.
No.
How about just stopping for all our needs?
It's pretty good.
Yeah, because we already accentuated abundantly. Okay, do you have one more?
Yes, there's one more.
Okay.
We recognize your love for us, for nurturing our soul that has now fully matured to the level of yours. We recognize your love for us, for nurturing our soul that has now fully matured to the level of yours.
I think we can add something else to it, because She has. She first has nurtured our physicality to come to the maturity for then to be able to elevate, to be an elevated soul.
Yes, she nurtured our physicality and enabled us to elevate our soul to the level of hers. Maybe above hers. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to compare. This is a gratitude to Mother Earth, and
No, we're not going above, but she has
yeah,
nourished our physicality. That's for sure. And she still does. So we are still in the process of evolving.
We give you our love unconditionally.
Yes, so do you want me to read something else? Or I had those four.
Shh, Papa. Can you bring that one back, which we just talked about in
The last
writing?
one?
So yeah, so we can adjust it, please, because now we can
Actually,
see where they're fitting.
it's
okay,
in the
I'll
chat.
put it.
So
I'll put
whoever
it
is
down
editing,
here.
please take it from the chat. It's easier to edit from there because it's
That's what
already.
I'm doing.
We
Oh, thank
recognize your love for us. To mature our physicality, or to, we have reached the maturity of in physicality, so our souls it has to be repositioned. We recognize your love for us. We're recognizing your love for us through something to do from the first point of physicality, because it's through the physicality that we have matured, we have reached the maturity to be in the position to elevate our souls. We recognize your love for us through nurturing, difficult word sometimes to express. If you can add physicality there, somewhere in between, where your red dot is now,
Well,
then we
is
can
the physicality would be nurtured, right? And then
yes,
through that
yes,
nurturing, then the soul is elevated through that physicality. So
because the physicality was the first.
through, I would say, what about through nurturing our physicality?
Yep, something like this.
And then we can add, through nurturing our physicality, we have reached the maturity of our physicality. Or
Yeah,
through
because
nurturing us, we have reached the maturity of our physicality. Just nurturing us. Through nurturing us, we have reached the physicality. We have reached the maturity. You really use that word, and I think that's important, that we have reached the maturity of our physicality. So through
It's
nurturing
not,
us,
not,
no?
I
Through
think we
nurturing
should
us?
have nurturing our physicality is important, I think,
yes,
as a
but
first step there.
she has brought us to a maturity in our physicality, so that now we are taking the steps to elevate our souls. So maturity should come into the physicality, but not in our soul.
I think we're dealing here with expressions. So essentially we're really expressing, or through the nurturing of our expressions, which physicality is one part.
I have posted my that thing, my editing right there in the chat for the same.
Or what if we don't recognize, but what if we say we accept your love? We have accepted your unconditional love for us through your maturing or physicality. Through maturing or physicality, because it has been, or an evolution process instead of maturing, where has she has through her unconditional love allowed us through this evolution process to reach maturity in the physicality, and through this process we have reached the level of maturity to elevate our soul. Can you follow?
Yes, I follow that. At the same time, we realize that in maturing ourselves, then we're also giving back. We're also supporting Mother Earth to mature. By elevating our souls, we're also helping her to elevate her soul. There's really no separation between the two of us.
Yeah, but it's an evolution process, yeah?
Indeed, it's an evolution for both us as humanity and Mother Earth as well. Through our evolution, we also support her to evolve in her family.
Through our evolution. Or through our physical evolution or physicality. I don't know how to use the word phrase there.
How did it get to evolution of physicality? Is that
because
something that's
Rick, we have evolved
what
our
do you mean by
physicality.
We, the physicality has evolved?
Humanity has first evolved through the physicality, huh?
Right,
we've gone
but
through
it's evolved through the physicality, not the evolution of the physicality.
Yeah, that's why I said I'm lost with the words. You have to help me.
I think we need to, like, what are we offering to Mother Earth here? We're offering our love because she gave us this physicality, which allows us to evolve our soul through it. So
yeah.
It's the soul that evolves through the physicality, not the physicality that evolves, in my estimation. Does that make sense?
It makes sense, Rick, but I actually have a sentence there, I mean a corrected version, that includes that it's through nurturing our physicality that our souls have matured.
Right.
Yeah, it's on the chat.
Yeah, except it says now fully matured to the level of yours, which I don't think we should put in at all.
No, that's not correct.
Yeah.
Sure, that one doesn't need to be there, but whatever else needs can be taken.
Maybe just end it has now fully matured. And now we know we can, it needs something, maybe one more line.
Can I add something, please?
Yep.
Good day, everyone. Good evening. This is Jalal here. Why you laugh, Rick?
Well, it's good because we need like a tiebreaker here or something.
Okay.
We're struggling with this and we need like a breakthrough. So
Okay.
here it comes.
There is one thing that evolution come with understanding. Yeah, you see? You see? It's showing yes.
That's confirmed.
Totally
Okay,
agree.
how would you work it into the sentence then? Or
Okay,
how would you phrase it?
we understand your unconditional love. That is one. Second, there's one thing also missed here, and that Mother Earth is a spaceship. Don't forget that. It is our spaceship. Third one, there is two parts here. Who is mothers here with us? How they want to receive the love from the children, and the manner who can they express their love to their mothers, and in that way we achieve that letter.
That's giving and receiving. That's beautiful. Well, the fact that she's our spaceship, that's the physicality.
I think it's a lot more than just the physicality. There's all kinds of fields that create that spaceship.
The fields are also a physicality.
She is a creation. We are in a field state, although it shows like matter, but we are in a field state. As Mr. Keshe said, we are all space travelers. The only thing is we don't realize it. But that doesn't mean necessarily she's a spaceship. You know, I have learned if we get stuck with something, go to another topic and then we come back to it. Because in the meantime,
good plan.
All your souls are gathering information about that topic and it eases down and then it comes back with full force.
Yeah, I'll just leave that one. It's a bit scrambled there. We'll come back to it. Okay, so
what's the next one?
How do you measure the strength of a soul?
Oh, welcome, Mr.
Or what are the dimensions? I was just talking to someone and
Well, we would measure the strength of the soul by the expression of it. The soul that is non-physical is expressed in the physical, and through that reflection and that expression, we're able to measure it.
Alberto says, I believe we measure the strength of the soul by its capacity to give, by how much it gives.
I'm still listening. Still
I
listening.
believe we cannot measure souls because they have no direction, no measure, but we can say they are elevated or not as elevated. So in elevation, how close they are to the Creator, and you have explained that is what we would call heaven, the closer to the source, and then that would mean they are elevated by knowing or understanding totality, or making our physicality understand that totality, because the souls already know anyway. That's how I see
Oh,
it.
but okay, let's put it this way. How the question asked was, what are the, how do we measure different levels of strength of the soul, different dimensions? How do we know about different dimensions?
We have to be close to the strength level of that dimension.
Yeah, but how can we say this is a second dimension, this is a third dimension? How, where does this terminology come?
I think the only measurement you can apply to this is the field strength of light, because as you showed this morning in the teaching, the rectangular one is they are always visible through light, through their field strength. So depending on what you're asking can only be visually seen by the strength of the light, because that shows the strength of the fields. Correct?
No, it's what I'm trying to ask is, you know, we say this is the second level, third level. This we are a second dimension or third dimension.
Maybe you can explain to us, because Mother Earth is blue. In her dimension, what dimension does she have?
No. The understanding is, we hear this, a lot of you mention it and a lot of people talk about this is a third dimension or the fourth dimension.
Well, one way to look at it is, the way I understand it, is the two dimensions would be a flat. Well, I'll start with one dimension would be a point, and then two dimensions would be a flat surface, and three dimensions.
No, that's a
raised
physical level.
But then you get into the fourth and fifth dimension from that, which includes time and then moving through space and so on. You're looking for a different result, a different answer.
No, I'm not looking for different answers. I'm looking for the real answer.
The real answer,
You
according
know,
to
the real answer. Let me explain to you.
Okay, thank you.
I'm gonna in Arabic they call it different level. When you die, you go to a different level of soul. The what you call, this is the different dimensions, different strength, that when you reach to the level of manifestation of physicality in that level, then you are ready to elevate to the next, because now physicality gathers together, that in it, through its dimension of fields, creates a higher level. You come as a sperm and egg, then you gather strength to create the soul. Now the strength of the soul is so much higher that controls the physicality. That becomes the feeder of the physicality. And when the physicality separates from the soul, now this soul has to reach another level of physicality. That the soul of that physicality now is stronger than that level of physicality. And then when it separates, every time the level of the soul, the strength of the free plasma, reaches material state of physical observation or tangibility, that then its interaction leads to creation of the stronger field, what we call a soul. That is the next level. Let's say, for example, if we have the soul of, let's say, a creature, that that soul has come about from the existence of the matter condition of its environment. When we take it out, is stronger than itself. Go back on the understanding of the cores. The cores, when we made, we put some GaNs in it, copper GaNs, or thick GaNs in the core, and we rotated it. So now the center, the principle, has become stronger than the matter which created it, which has gone to the boundary, becomes manifestation of its physicality. Now, if we take that principal matter, this hole in the middle, out, and let it to interact with this new environment, don't forget this hole in the center of this ball was the stronger because it was holding the matter state of the GaNs. Now that we have taken it out, now it has, by interaction with other fields, created a new dimension of physicality of its own, which now this goes to the boundary. And this boundary, new material, the matter state, has to evolve and rotate, that it creates a new center point for itself. So the center point of the first entity is much lower than the second, and so on. And then when you go, they say, to the level of the seven, reach the level of the creator. That strong you become. And so when we call the, whatever you call it, the level of this, what do you call it, first dimension or second dimension, that's what it means. Only comes into operation when the soul is created out of the interaction of the fields of the physicality. And therefore it has to be much higher, because now it goes in the center. In Baha'is writing, it is Alam, they call it the levels. Alam is the world, Habarut, Jabarut, and it goes on. It's very clearly stated in the Baha'i writing of Baha'u'llah Blessed. And so what it means is that the level of the understanding of the manifestation of the soul of non-tangibility is higher than the one before. It never happens in any other case in the universe, except in the dimension of the plasma. Because it's not the essence to get stronger, it becomes the manifestation of the field's interaction, which give it field strength, not matter strength. It's not water that you boil with and get saltier and saltier. If you put salt in it, the ratio. This becomes by giving more of itself, that it becomes stronger by itself. So when you call about the second dimension, and the third dimension, the fourth dimension, it means The cycle of strength has gone through 3 cycles of generation and is stronger. It means it sees at a higher level, where in the second level it never sees the first level because it's already was created out of the field strength of the center of the first level. If you started with a GaNs of hydrogen, now your GaNs in the second level could be of gold. In the third level, you go to plutonium and above. So if you understand the expression of the ratio of the strength on the mass ratio, where the mass reduces to the level but increases in the strength of the field. So when you read in the holy books or in the writings of people who understand, not just the ones who talk about the first stage and second level and whatever, every time we talk about the second level or manifestation of the third, it means at the point of the inception of the soul, the center point, out of tangibility of the second, in reality of the first. But all in the magnetic field strength, not in the matter state. This is so important if you understand it. If anybody understands this, when you travel in the depth of the space, the stages and the levels becomes the speed of your control. And you cannot control third stage or third level through the strength of the second, because it's too low. You have to understand the control from the fourth to control the third. So it means you have to elevate your soul that much higher. Creation of the man is not from the earth. And I've seen you writing this. The creation of the man on earth is from the interaction of the totality of the solar system fields and the planet. Because without it, the amino acid cannot be produced at the upper level, which means it's dictated by the field strength. If you understand why children of different time, different ages, different cycle of the earth, summer, winter are different. Because the amino acid which led to their creation, even though the conception is in the womb of the mother, is of the different strength position in respect to the sun. That's why children of different seasons are totally behaving different, because in that position, in the universal condition of the earth, in respect to his son, to his mother, to his creator, to his release of the amino acid, have different field strength. Because the child, as we go back to the beginning of the teaching some times ago, in the womb of the mother is in the ocean of the fields of the universe. So it receives everything from the universe. So if you receive different fields in the winter, you definitely are created different in the summer. In the ancient time, they understood this. In the present modern time, it's all become figures around the thing. Why children of August are Leo? The strength, the agility, the comprehension, all comes with Leo, because it's a peak of summer, the highest strength. That gives you strength, it gives you essence of understanding and receiving more of. You are created at a point of maturity, which is the last month, by the time you mature to be born, of the strength of the mother, of the universe, the heat of the summer when the fields are so strong. These symbolism of the animals or whatever is related, people never understand, because the meaning is lost in the history books and nobody ever translated the true meaning of it. It's respect to fields which the child receives in the womb of the mother in respect to the environment. So now your level of your soul, your strength and physicality is dictated by the origin, which is the sun. And then you thank the earth. The Earth gravitational magnetic field is the cutter of the fields of the universe. And in it, in combination of it, because of it, lead to creation of amino acid of given the strength in that season, in that time, in what the condition is in that part of the universe at the time you cross. Creation of man is not just on the womb of the mother. It's reflection of the fields from the galaxies and universes which it becomes part of his body. You got to understand more. Much, much more than just the names. As I said, we have taught this many times, but the truth has got lost in what I call Chinese whisper and how they wanted to divert. Why do you have a year of lion when you have a year of horse? Look at the position of the Earth in how it cycles itself in galaxy every 17 years or every 12 years. Every 19 years. It's very strange because we understand more. Our behavior, which is our soul, which reflects in our physicality, in the behavior of the matter of state of presentation, has come from the Mother Earth, from the Mother Sun, from the Mother Galaxy, and from the universe. When we are born, is a combination. Now you understand and says that Leo is like, dictator and he wants to do, he's the boss. Of course, he's received more energy than any other time, in a direct line. So he receives more, he behaves different, he has more to give and take. But the knowledge now is a ram, is this. Look at the winter animals, look at the summer animals you give it to them. And then look at the cycle. On the other side, per annual, which goes through the galaxy and the universe. The thing is, we have lost the sight of the reality. As much as us depends on the summer, winter and rotation, so does our solar system in the galaxy. Every so often, we come back to the same point in the galaxy. And the Chinese understood this. And it's called their annual year of the cat and dog. But in process, they never looked at the other sides, which the Europeans do on a monthly basis. Then the interaction of the month and the position in the galaxy. And then when you get educated, the position of galaxy in the universe dictates the true, you can measure the feeling, the structure, and the behavior of the person on the planet Earth. As I said, this is just the beginning to it. And then when you create the soul and the strength of the man at this point, at this time of the year, at this position of the universe, and then it adds to itself through the survival or life, in giving new life to the new dimension, it's totally different than what you were from. So this creates new dimension, new level, new souls, new what we call different level of strength of the creation. I better stop. Sorry, when I had to come in, you're talking about this mother soul. I had to tell you there is more than that. You don't look at everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We just are in our first steps of realizing and building the path of this reconstruction of our path to come and to be able in our full
No, this is now understanding the totality, the explanation, because these explanations have been lost in the history. now is
you
coming
advise,
back and making it right.
so can you now advise us to where to create the step of the totality in acknowledgement as the souls? Because maybe we need your guidance in that pattern.
It's not the guidance, it's just that we see more of. You have to consider the totality. You have to consider the inner being of the structure of the creation, the understanding of the different levels of the soul of the man. The soul of the man is accumulation of the totality of the creation in the universe. At the point and the position of the creation, one you created. Now let's say your body had a strength of 10, and to have a physicality of the 10, you need a soul strength of 1,000,000. Now, when that soul is released at 1,000,000, and then itself in a new strength to find its tangibility, leads to creation of a physicality of, let's say, 1,000,000. Now that 1,000,000 has become physicality. Now that physicality through its interaction creates a new soul, which this time is 1,000,000 by 1,000,000 times. So order of magnitude. And this is what the difference is. This is what you got to understand. And that 1 at the beginning, or 10 at the beginning, was created out of the interaction of the fields of the same order of magnitude smaller, plus what is in the planetary, universal, and galaxies field forces. Mother Earth is a cutter. It's just like you have a big sausage, and then you put it through a cutting machine. That's all Mother Earth is. At that strength, it gives you amino acid. But that cutting machine is different in different part of the universe.
So she's like,
different, be difference. Pardon?
so she's like a folic acid to us.
No, it's just like a cutting blade on a sewing machine. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. I just had to clarify this.
Before you stop, Mr. Keshe, have you just explained the basis of horoscopes?
We taught horoscopes to man originally, but never understood. Now you understand the true essence of it. Why and how.
Thank you very much, Mr. Keshe.
So it goes by the strength and the positioning, and then it can express through that its fields in the physicality. So the whole wheel of the Chinese calendar and the horoscope is the positioning, not so much the way they are showing it. So there's much more depth in this. Is there anything left from the original blueprints of this brought to mankind, or is it still hidden in the vaults somewhere, the truth?
Sorry, could you say that again, Caroline? Say that question.
You can't hear me perfectly, or?
I just like to hear the question again.
I said, is there any proof of this left somewhere, hidden somewhere in the vaults, because we are coming, or it's coming to light, that there are a lot of things being kept away from humanity on purpose. So maybe we should not only go back to our gratitude, but keep it in a way very short, apparently, but to create our wish to be able for those doors to open up through our wishes, that we want to be enlightened with the knowledge which maybe is still present on this planet, but just hidden from us. And I think Mr. Keshe is bringing the igniting point. I think if we think about last week, Friday, what has been taught is coming very close to what he's trying to bring now, not to get diverted our attention, that we are so much more, and that we're gonna have to start connecting that more of us. And I think through our wishing, we will express to receive more. I think we're gonna have to open the doors ourselves in so many ways.
That's correct, Caroline. And also, I think with what Mr. Keshe has explained, we need to be critical to not attribute to Earth what does not belong to the Earth. So we will have to look at this letter to gratitude to the Earth and not exaggerate what she has provided us, because she may not have. That's how I understood Mr. Keshe's.
You're breaking up, Dr. Quota. We cannot hear you clearly sometimes.
Just the, the last sentence there, Katua, would be good.
Oh, was lost. Okay, what I'm saying is we must look at what we attribute to the Mother Earth critically, because what Mr. Keshe has explained, we may, due to what he has explained, we may have attributed to Mother Earth what really she never gave us.
No, it's not. This is not a point of critical. It's a point of putting it in the right position. She's part. Without that part, there is no chain of event. And it's not what she has given or not given. I think it's the total overview to see and connect more things to make it more in its total view. Not that one has given more or less, because remember, as I explained, when you don't have a cleaner, you don't have clean dishes on your table. If you don't have a chef in the kitchen cooking your food, you don't have the guy who cleans the grocery for him to be able to get them chopped, that he can cook them. So I think we have to reposition in a way that we do not overlook the totality. I think that will be more appropriate. Mr. Keshe just pointed out that it's an event of fields which, when they work together, they create or become or reach to a certain level of fields. And I think we got our first hint from Jalal. Topoli.
Every time Jalal's name comes up, Topoli barks.
I think we're going to have to do a recap on the view, how we saw ourselves in the position with Earth. And I think Mr. Keshe always plays with this to make us to look beyond, not in the more or the less proportions as if in the physicality, but in the field interaction. So what did we learn from the sun? The sun is a creator, if I remember well, Rick. Because sun is a giver. So the sun is the giver. Now we're gonna have to brush up. We're gonna have to brush up our information from the teachings. Come on, we all have recollections from that. In what position sits the earth towards the sun and the sun towards the earth? And what creates the soup of the fields that we are receiving so abundant, which is sustaining physicality on planet Earth? That puts a totally different light on the position as humanity. So if we analyze that he says it starts with the sun and then the rest evolves, correct? We call them stars, but they are suns. So when that's the igniting of the radiation of the light, isn't it? Or the fields in that strength. So what is Mother Earth in comparison with the sun if you compare it with the sperm and an egg? Does anybody remember?
I would say the egg.
So Mother Earth is the egg. Because she does the division and she does the cutting, yeah?
Yep.
So the spark of life comes from the sun. But where do they balance then? And he also said something else. We are not from this planet.
And also we should keep in mind that one of our objectives is to go to space.
Back where we came from. We're just going to go back home. But with a higher strength. A much higher strength, because we passed through the fields of the physicality, which we have accumulated more fields in a higher strength. So that means if the physicality has done and served this purpose, we have accumulated more fields, so we are going to another level, which is a higher level in strength. Which then depends on the level amount of strengths you have accumulated here, That's when he then says you go into the certain dimension of that field strength, correct? Rick?
Yes.
Did I understand correct?
That seems to be correct to my understanding. Anybody else confirm that? Or does somebody see it differently that we could hear from?
What I understood him to say is that every time the field manifests as a physical thing, physicality in physicality, at another level, let's say, for example, when we die and our souls go ahead and create a star, for example, that will be of higher strength than the first. And when that star dies, for example, and creates something else, at that other level, the third level will be stronger than the second level and stronger than the first level. That's how I understood him to say.
So,
every time a soul or every time fields create their center, and through that center interact with the environment in a new environment and create another physicality, that other physicality's core or center will be stronger than the first center.
So we are in a continuous evolution process of gathering strength to become stronger each time we go into, oh, just one moment. You're going to go deaf for the rest.
And what was interesting to me, what he said was, at the seventh level, that's the level of the creator.
Yes.
Yes. That's been my understanding for quite some time. That's the 7 levels that are available.
How long does
maybe even a level above that, in which above the 7th level where the creator exists even before the 7th level, but it's at the 7th level that we're able to reach the level of the creator. The creator's even higher than the levels.
Once we get there, then we can talk. Then we can see the vista.
We'll meet there over coffee and tea before
there's billions of other creators once we finally reach the creator level. And that was the big surprise. Yes, and it's a big tea party.
Can you repeat that last sentence again, Rick, please? I missed it.
Well, we were discussing this thing of the 7 levels or 7 dimensions, and being the creator level being level 7.
You can put it like this. In our teachings and in the religions books, they say 7 skies and 7 levels of the skies and 7 levels of earth. And in the 7th level of sky, you see, from there you can see the creator.
You can see the creator at the 7th level.
You can see the creator. Jalal,
yes.
You say the 7th level, that's the level of the creator, which means you are the creator.
Right.
When you say you can see the creator.
Yeah,
it'd be,
this is mentioned in the books that all the prophets, they are in the seventh sky, and in the seventh sky, then you see the Creator. So maybe in the eighth sky you will see it, or above you like this. I don't know.
well, the idea is that I understand would be maybe at the sixth level, you would see the creator, you get glimpses of the creator, but at the seventh level, you are the creator, you become the creator. There is no other at that point.
What is written, and I know it exactly, that all the prophets and the good guys, they are in the seventh sky, and from the seventh sky you can see, or you will know the real Creator. You will see it. So if we see in the seventh, or if he is above the seventh, that it mean in the sky you see it, like earth and the sky. That I don't know. But there's one thing. It's come to my notice when Mr. Cash said earth like a slide. So this brings us to the other question. Is it flat? And if we say, is it a spaceship? Could be flat. This is a different issue also. Because in the same books they say it is flat. Earth is flat. That is in the higher books, you know. But maybe they understand it differently. I don't know.
Well, there is a teaching about that for sure, that everything actually is flat, and we have the illusion of moving through three dimensions. That is just an illusion. Go ahead.
I remember, Mr. Keshe, maybe you remember as well. I think it was in the time of Trani that Mr. Keshe said that we are covered in a dome not to see the reality. We are in a protection shield. That we do not see what goes outside our bubble until we reach the maturity. Does anyone remembers that teaching?
Yeah, that rings a bell. I can't remember any other specifics, so.
That he explained that the world beyond the one we can see and the one which we are aware of is being created on purpose, because there's so much other things going on beyond that field. But we're going to have to go back to that specific teaching to understand. And it was around the time of Trani. If anybody can or have any memory about that.
Okay, let's see if there's any comments about that.
Maybe in terms of our letter, we are not at the place yet that we can understand it, but we only know it through our intuition, through our soul, and at the same time can still speak our gratitude for Mother Earth, for where we are, and acknowledgement of where we're going.
I think that will be, that's I think why we got stuck, because of the non-full understanding that we cannot complete in its correct way or shape or form. So I think in a way we're going to have to keep it short till we receive more or come more to understand. And then maybe on in our process of development, we can come back and expand this letter or put it in the right context.
could we agree to this one phrase here? And would that be something that we can work around? This idea of my wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute that source in you. In terms of, you could say, our wisdom flows from the highest source. We salute that source in Mother Earth.
Yeah, but I would also put, let us work together for unity and peace, and keep it shorter until we come to more understanding. I think we came all to understand that there is so much more that we can't even imagine to complete this letter, because we don't know her position in the right way, or in the right. We don't understand, so it's not so much Mother Earth, but I think we need to find our position first before we can do a full. And I think we're gonna have to come back to it when there is more doors opening up. And I think we should just use the title, and then maybe, as Rick says, just respect that we know her position and we know our position, not fully. What do you think? We can always come back to this once there are more doors opening up, because now we're going to do too much.
Yes. I think maybe we need to readdress it. Maybe we get some more hints from Mr. Keshe on how to proceed with it too. So he can give us more about this, I think. I think it's something he's been pondering a long time, and many of us have. What is the connection between, the Mother Earth and the Gaia, and all these terms we have of endearment to this planet, and what is that in relation to the sun, which is, the sun was what was worshipped by the pharaohs and various other cultures and so on.
The Aztecs.
The Aztecs as well, yes. And
they all were putting the sun in the highest.
Right.
So, nobody has even understood any of those writings, and nobody has been able to interpret or put them in the right order, because we just reached the level of understanding on our own soul. So I don't think we need to dwell too much on why and how, but we can collect, and we can gather, and we can evolve to come to the point of more understanding.
Well, the point that I was just pondering that came to me was, it's a matter of who do we give to, in a way. Do we give to the earth, or do we give to the sun? In other words, most of the time we think in terms of giving to the earth and taking care of the earth and nurturing back to the earth, and the earth nurturing us and so on.
Give to the source.
Do we ever think about giving back to the sun? Not very often, really. Do we give to the source? Do we give from our source to the source and become the source in order to, feel what that's like? This is the question.
I think we have to create balance fields towards the two, because they're interconnected. They make the infinity loop. And Jalal, I think if you go, and you've been enough in the teachings with Mr. Keshe, I think Earth is round, because in all the teachings, everything goes in what shape? Your reactors, your GANs, the sun, the earth, in what shape is it? Otherwise it do what?
Spherical.
Exactly. Earth has to be round. All the objects right across the universe are spherical. Nothing is flat. So I think the utopia from today onward, that Earth is flat, I think you can go back and maybe explain, because there are a lot of people claiming this. But how is this possible if you look around you, even with your telescopes, everything is spherical. Why? Because of the field interaction. Mr. Keshe has shown it with the magnets. There has to be a field flow. So you have to have 2 points of different, because otherwise you can't create the flow. And I think Rick is more in a position to explain that than anybody else, or Vince. Because how do the reactors work? Because I want to get this utopia that the Earth is flat out of the world, because it's nonsense. Because wherever you look, the sun is spherical, the moon is spherical, Venus is spherical. You look at all the planets you can even see with your more or less naked eye. Are they flat? Or are they...
No.
Well, Caroline, in terms of this, what you're saying is that in the 3 dimensions, in the dimension of physicality, we are 3-dimensional. At the core of spirit, it's 1-dimensional because it's all spirit. In between, possibly in the soul level, we're at 2 dimensions. And so this theory of flat Earth, or this theory of flatness, is a bridging between physicality, which is 3-dimension, and the 2-dimension that's on in a certain way a higher level. So in that way, you get rid of it, because our focus right now is the expression of soul in the physical plane and the physical level. How do we express that and express our gratitude and our appreciation for all that is?
Yeah. Yeah, basically, yeah, we can't, there's 2 different ways of understanding there, and it's hard to get one's head around it in that sense. In a way, what is the plasma of the Earth? What is the magnetic gravitational fields that make up the physicality of the Earth? What would that look like? Is another way to look at it.
Well, those are probably the bridge between the plasma, which then expresses itself in fields, and the GANs then being the link, or the bridge between that which creates the fields and the physicality that forms out of the fields.
I think we're going to have to ask Mr. Keshe. We're going to have to leave this over to Mr. Keshe, because I don't understand why there needs to be a bridge when you're working only in fields of energy. Even the sun interacting with the earth, it's field. We are in a matter state, but inside we are in a GAN state. And everything is radiating fields. Even your own body is a field. So I have not seen flat fields. I've seen different fields, even around somebody's body. If you can see the aura, which are the fields, they're not flat. So if we are talking about interaction, how can there be a bridge between one or another when even an egg is spherical?
Look at fruit. Fruit was an example Mr. Keshe used. It's create that the shape, the physical shape. And you look at the trees. He said the palm trees. They have their fronds go out, following their fields. And although we see a straight line in the trunk, or we might see a straight line within a small section, if you take it in totality, it's always spherical. The fields, that is, and which is our totality, is fields. And they're spherical. The diagrams, Mr. Keshe always draws, the lines go through, they go up, they go out, they come back around, somehow they turn back into gravitational from magnetical, and they keep spiral, keep on moving. Although he's only drawing it on a flat blackboard or whiteboard, it's always, if you look at it in totality, it's always spherical.
It only changes when it expresses itself in a matter state. Well, as long as and whenever you're talking to the plasma fields, it's always spherical. Always.
Yes, but what is at the very, very, very core of that sphere?
The seat, which is again a center of, and even if you even use the black hole, it is a circle. It's spherical.
Right.
I have never seen square fields anywhere in any of the explanations. Nothing goes in flat, or it always goes, the fields go out or the fields go in. And as they're going out and you generate them out, you increase the fields. And when they're going in, it all depends which direction you want to create or use or manifest. They're always fields. So plasma is non-tangible. So if you work with fields, I don't see any bridge, or I don't see any flat or other. It's always fields. Even when he shows with the magnets, he uses a matter state, which is a magnet. But then you get the drawing of the fields going out and going back in. So there is always a field interaction, but fields don't bend in flat or square or triangle lines. They're always flowing. That we do not see the totality is because of
if they're flowing, are they flowing as little balls, little round spheres, or are they flowing in other ways?
Well, I think maybe what we're looking at is, we speak of fields, we're looking at fields interacting with fields, fields within fields within fields. So as those fields interact, they create and meet at nodal points. Those nodal points are harmonics. Out of that harmonic, then come your platonic solids, become your square, your triangle, your star formation and whatnot.
Well, where do the balls come in of Earth and
it's
planets
it's the
all
infinite
around
expression.
things of the universe that we were talking about?
It's the infinite expression.
I'm sorry if I may stop you there. Because when you go to the star formation, the positioning looks square, but not the fields, because you're only working with the fields. And the fields are the ones, if you remember the position, and I wish Armin was here, the soul purpose of the positioning of the reactors where they are in is to make sure that the fields gets created and they can keep on going and they can keep on increasing or decreasing at your demand. So they don't create square fields. I think something is wrong in the understanding or communication. But fields are not square and they are not flat, and I don't think so. Because my understanding, Rick, you have built reactors. You've been in the composition of, and Sander has, and Vince has, and Armin, and so many other knowledge seekers. We are always talking about fields interaction, how to increase, how to decrease, how to elevate, how to always in the matters, we are always using the words in that kind of conduct.
Yes, but the important factor is always to create the free plasma in the center, though. That's the thing. And the free plasma is the interaction of the other fields creates the free plasma. So, and that again relates to this, the hole in the middle sort of thing, and the center of all these balls that we talked about before.
Which is a sphere. Again.
Hello?
Well, it may be a sphere, it may even be a point. Like Mr. Keshe and others have talked, that our true nature is actually just a pinpoint of attention.
Probably a hollow sphere.
Hello?
Go ahead. Is that Zena?
Yes, yes. Hello, everybody. I just noticed I lost some part of it because of internet connection. I heard Mr. Jalal saying that there are 7 skies, and then the prophets are there. I have never read that in Quran, which is the basis of Islam, and God says, "Sabah samawat wal arz." He created 7 skies, and the earth. And like Bible says, at the seventh day or sixth day, he takes a rest. And then he says something like, the world is flat, says in a religion. I've never heard that. Also, nowhere says the earth is flat or universe is flat. Never I would have found that. And then there is a chapter with the name of light in the Quran. It's number, I think, in the middle of it, it's the chapter light. And there is a verse which says, God is the light of the skies and the earth, and his light is like, you know, the things that you put something inside to give light. They used to be with petrol or oil. Now
a lantern?
Yes, a lantern, which is between glasses, and these glasses are like stars, shiny stars, and this lantern is having an oil, a source of burning, which comes from the tree, blessed tree. It might be symbolic tree, the blessed tree of olive, which is not Eastern and not Western, and with a touch with the without any touch with fire. It's always flaming. It always has flame. And this is the light which comes over the light, and God leads whoever he wants with his light. And that's an example for people, and he's aware of anything. And the chapter after, a small one, says that light is in the houses that God has permitted his name to be raised in these houses, and people morning and night say the like the hallelujah, the praise of him. So I thought if it's related to this subject.
In a way, Zina, yes, because the light they are referring to is your soul. And when you praise it, it can shine more and it will never die. A child dies when it's not getting praised. That's in the physicality, the expression in the words. Baha'u'llah speaks of it as well. Christ speaks of it as well. All the religions have somewhere a mention of it. But the light they're referring to is your soul. The more you polish the glasses where the light is burning in, which is a non-ending source, the more you can beam out your light, the more you can shine. But that is at the point of the soul. Then they talk about the seven valleys, which means that's the path the soul has to get himself through to get to its level of the first completion, because they are more above those. But there are actually more levels. But I like Mr. Keshe to go and explain more about the above 7 levels. I think there are 12. There are 5 more stages which are not known to man in the development of the soul.
Or maybe,
yeah.
Or maybe number 7 is the symbolic of a lot of. I know some letters are symbolic, like 40, 10, 7 of others, not just 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe it's a symbolic sign. I should go through some sources if I can to see what does it mean in here. 7 in Arabic and Muslim culture. Does it mean plenty or others? It might be just symbolic.
You know, they have given in numerology, if people understand numerology, in the numbers they have added it's a strength. And then they have expressed it itself in to understand the number. Like 1 is the start. It's the starting point. 9 is completion. Yeah. These are the expressions which usually are referred to, and most of the people know those 2 numbers very well. The start is 1 is you, express you in your totality, and 9 is the completion, which means is the end, because then you go back to 1. But if you have done numerology and you have analyzed in the numbers, I can give you a few to find more information in the fields of expression, the same thing as they're using in the path of astrology, but then in a different way. Because each or every single thing has a, how can you say? Like, I give you an example for 10. 10 is a soul's number. It's being as a royal encouraged to go your own way. And as a spiritual body, it has to beam at its top, which is you can shine like a star. And then even they have analyzed the colors. So these informations are available to all of us. And if you have, let's say, number 5 is to follow your destination. It's becoming of the principle of a human. And then it's like a gift number when you want to build up freedom and you're becoming a principle, and something in human allows us to see ourselves, and because of that you can go through the gate of freedom, and then you can have the facilities to change things. So not only through the astrology but also through numbers you can find a lot about yourself, because there you can find the composition of the knowledge of the strength of the expression of the number. Number 4 is a key number for your talents. It's a builder for a stronger fundament of your practical being. It's working on your discipline. It's connected to your steadiness. It gives you a strong fundament where you can build upon. But it also creates form, order, and practice dealing, but it puts it in a higher level than what you would have before the number 4. So 3 is a path chooser. You define your path of self-development and creativity, but in the origin of principle of the infinity, and it keeps on multiplying. So it's a creating force of self-development, creativity, the child in us, which is playing, wondering, but at the sunny side of your own expression. 3 is unity, expression, the pleasure of life and life desire. So then if you put it in a harmonious way, it's a self-expression and research and creativity of the energy within us. Then you have the colors, which are also carrying these kind of fields. So what Mr. Keshe just brought to us, you can explore this and find so much more out in what position you are, and really go and find, if you have like number 11s and 22s, you can't divide those numbers and you can't add those numbers. So these give a totally different expression, which are more powerful. So these are your path. If you have number 33, you're at universal service. You have your inner priesthood to look after the others and protect them, and to stand very close to nature, and to learn to keep yourself steady and reliable and become it. When it's active, it is powerful in serving of any human being next to you, to create that there is compassion and always looking to in the need of others. But you can be like a balancer when there are deep emotional conflicts. When it is passive, then it becomes the opposite. When it's in harmony, it serves mankind in big service, because it's a good spiritual advisor and is always looking for the well-being of and well-being of humanity. It's a cosmic father and protector. It's a creator. So it's a universal task of being at service of humanity, because you and your creator are one. So it depends how you express yourself through these energies, which you can already find even in the name you've been given, because each letter has and carries a certain amount of energy. Everything is energy. It always goes back to energy. And I'm glad Mr. Keshe interrupted us, because it opens a totally new door when he mentions astrology, when he mentions the way the Chinese people have worked it out. Everything comes back down to expression of who you are as a soul on the path of where you're going. And with the numbers on your name and the position when you're born and the time of your birth, you can find already the definition of the strength in each number, which you can find out yourself. So if you go and dig out in the numerology, 9 is your ground number. It's the totality. And then it depends where the position is of that number in your birth date and in your name, given name. Your names just haven't popped up out of nowhere. They have come by the creation of the fields of the interaction between the mother and the father, but this has been created also through their energy. So you have given something to something which you created, and then you have defined it because you have added that certain time of or kind of energy. Now, if you do a recap on your children and yourself, I think it will show you the path you walk through life with the energies which are available, because they will define where your energies are and how they're working with you and how you can improve your path. So if you have certain numbers reappearing in your birth date and your birthplace and your birth name, then you will see in which strengths what you're using the most and what you can increase to be at the benefit and harmony with you. Because I just given you quite a few examples when they are in harmony, when they're passive, when you're not using them, and when they're active. I give you a number which is 11. Yeah, it's a master, it's a revelation, it's a present to make contact with your higher self. You are a possessor of a big initiative, and you have an ability to really pull it out of you, and especially in your relationships, and also to practice patience. You can really decide very fast, and this is one of the qualities. You have brothership in you, and you also have compassion in you. Now, if I define 11 in three sections, when it's active, it's very fanatic, it's very cultish, it's too much, too fast, it misses the practicality of it, it misses the insight, it uses the gifts only towards itself. Now, if you turn this to passive, it has no inspiration, it does not tolerate good or bad, and it definitely doesn't tolerate critics. It is extremely afraid of gifts and higher energies. It is extremely sensitive for the expression and opinions of others. And now, if I go into the harmony of this number, it is a very gifted channel of paranormal. It can carry it out in a higher awareness. It brings spiritual truth on physical plan, and it finds in immense rich ways the expression of visionary and leadership. It has a specific task of revelation. So that's energy, that's working with the fields of the energies, and this is just numerology. Now you see how you can change your interaction with who you are as a soul, with the energy you carry, and then find out the definitions of the path where you can change them. If you recognize that you're too passive or you can't receive criticism, then see where you can change the fields. I think that was the learning process in astrology, whether it was for the Europeans or for the from either continent. Somewhere, somehow, there is a lot of information. But you see how you can differently interpret it. It's not just astrology. It's not just being born aligned. Mr. Keshe just expressed and opened the drawers much further. I'm just opening you another little drawer where maybe you have an easier access to start understanding. It's developing, but you choose the path what you develop. but at the same time, you have the knowledge and the overview of what serves you best and where you can serve the best.
Thank you. Yeah.
And the light you're talking about, my darling, that's the light of your soul. The more you express yourself, the more you are a light, the beautiful more you are a light. So your light shines more. And the beautiful thing is, when you stand in the mirror, you can make your light to shine so much more.
Thank you. Thank you very much for teaching.
There is a lot. It's just we needed the gift of Mr. Keshe to come and open the doors and the windows, and everything we kept shut. But as long as we stay on the level of the soul, and as long as we stay within the fields, we just need to know more where the fields are and the interaction of the fields, because the behavior is also the content of the fields and the strength.
Yes, yes. Right. I think I'm little by little realizing what it is to write from the soul or to talk from the soul. I don't know if it's a good habit to take, but I'm going to the path of using my soul when I wrote something the other day. I don't know if it's good to do it all the time or to use the soul for doing things. Maybe it's better to be like that.
I just found this video that I thought I'd play that sort of reflects some of the things. It's I think an experimental one that was done last spring. There's no sound, but it just shows the free plasma idea we talked about.
That is absolutely genius. That's beautiful. Thank you. I think we can put this very, very nice intro song with it, and we're all going to be dancing with it.
There you go. We get one of Flint's dance tunes there. That thing would be rocking.
Can you send us the link to that one?
I don't think it's been published. I think that was something I put together in the spring just as a fooling around animation, and It wasn't meant for publication, but I just discovered it, and maybe it should be. I'll hand it over to Flint to see if we can put a soundtrack to it, and maybe publish it.
Sure, no problem.
Thank you very much, Nick.
I think this YouTube, this video cannot be played enough. Because if you now go back to the beginning of it, you go with the sperm and the egg. And then you start creating the fields, and there is always a gap between one another. And then you attract more, which recreate a new dimension. And if this is, if you just analyze this.
Okay, now at this point, we had this discussion with Mr. Keshe recently, where I asked him, you mentioned sperm and egg, but in this case, it's just the principal field is the way I understand it. It doesn't require the two entities to entangle, because one of them can do it, as we can see with that, that familiar shape, that spiral shape that Mr. Keshe draws so often. In other words, one of these rays can become entwined and make a plasma. It chases its own tail, in effect. It doesn't take two to tango necessarily. So there's some question about what is the sperm, what is the egg in this case, and maybe that relates somewhat to our conundrum.
No. They are adding two different fields to create the interaction fields. Because look at these.
But that's what Mr. Keshe was saying. It doesn't take two fields. It can actually have one that just starts bending and turning into itself on its own, just due to the fields around it, the conditions around it, perhaps. But this is like the principal principal ray coming out, so we understand it.
But don't make the confusion, huh? When we speak about humanity, we are creating physicality, huh? This is this creating on level soul on plasma. This is on a different dimension you're talking. And then matter state. We are a spark. Each one of us are a spark of this, I think. Because the soul, we bring through the egg and the sperm, we bring the fields to create the physicality, the matter state. But the soul receives from those two to become one soul. So it is one field. It just takes the energy to become one. It doesn't take from, it doesn't need, how can I explain that it doesn't get misunderstood? He says, he just brought it back this afternoon. He said, when an egg and a sperm, when those fields become one, they increase the level, let's say, to 10, But from that, enough strength is a soul created, which is one. Correct?
I can't remember if that was the exact formula for that. Can anybody help us with that?
I do a recap.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
When he, no. what I think I heard, or what is in my memory, is that he explained about the soul and the fields. He said when an egg and a sperm come together, let's say they have the level of 10, the strength of 10, yeah? And then when they gather to the level of strength, they're strong enough, then the soul appears. Because it has received enough strength for it to start its path. So, that's where the secret sits, that we are not from Earth. That, oh my God. Oh my God. The physicality creates the condition where it creates the amount, let's say the 0.10 of strength in fields in the physical matter, for that to be sufficient enough for the soul to emerge. And from there on, then the soul can evolve to higher strengths. But it's using the physicality to walk through the path, if I understood it correct. Was anybody else there?
Mr. Keshe has also mentioned different points of the physicality being like a leech, essentially, to the soul.
No, because the soul strength came, the soul itself came from somewhere else. He says you're not from Earth.
Right.
So through the physicality, we're collecting, through this interaction, we are actually creating what you just shown, yeah? But it needs two to create that physicality point of strength. And then when this is at a certain point of strength in the womb, because of the egg and the sperm, you have created the first step for it to become the receiving end of a soul. Because then he says the soul gets created. The soul comes in and takes its place. That's why the soul doesn't come from the earth. So the soul must come from the strength of the sun. I wish he could be here to confirm, because that sheds a totally different light on the interaction between the physicality, the mother, which is the cutter which provides the division of the cells. Can you follow my thoughts of Pat?
Hi, it's James. Can I give my interpretation of that? What happened?
Because it was his explanation, and I'm just trying to see if I clicked the right way with the information he gave additionally to it.
Well, Mr. Keshe is still here.
Oh, I don't see that. Mehran, please. Hello. Uh-huh.
He's hiding in the background and watching us wallow in this.
He's been here the whole time since he came in last time.
Chuckling away to himself, probably.
He wants someone to trigger.
These silly humans, he says.
I'm calling you. Maybe it's just open and he's fallen asleep because he's really tired.
Oh, that's possible. We should maybe give him a break. Or he might be busy at the other end, interview or something as well.
But I remember he said, if you, when you, one ray, it makes the physicality. from the beginning of the ray and the end of
That's
the ray.
right.
Yeah, it makes the physicality. It's make the proton and electron. When it give it's another ray, when maybe the other ray is as you said, Caroline. It's from the other source of the, not the sun. Maybe it's the spirit of the universe or something.
No, 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 no. It's a strength. A soul is a strength of fields.
Yeah, maybe the strength of the fields. It's makes the.
And I think when he interrupted it, that it's not Mother Earth. I think that's the soul, the sun, which brings that energy in. Because he referred to the time even when you're born on this planet, you receive a small packages more than when you're born in the winter. So it is related to the sun.
You're getting close to enlightenment, Caroline.
Yeah, because of the rays of the soul, you get a stronger soul, so you get a stronger potential. And he referred to the sun, because that's the positioning of the earth where she receives most than that physicality, which is a human, has a totally different capacity than somebody which is born when the earth is more away from the sun and can receive less fields from the sun. So,
or in a different part of the universe, he said too, I think.
Hi, this is James. Can I have a go at that?
That may explain why home is best.
Hello?
Wherever one was born, because the condition of the fields are different in different locations. So that's why one feels at home, only at home.
Yeah, because the feeling of the source of fields is more present when you're where you're born than when you're on the other side.
Oh, I would have conflict with that idea. But what about when you die and your fields are released, and maybe that is a different way to look at it, other than the physical part.
Say that again. I can't follow you.
Well, when we supposedly pass, there's a separation of the fields.
No, it's not separation. It's a release of the fields.
Release is what I said first, actually. Yes, release of the fields. It's a separation, you might say, of the physicality and that seed in the center that we talk about.
Is what you accumulated your whole life, which you have increased your fields. When the physical part lets go, you accumulate all the energies come together, and then they go into a different state. Why would that not be different then? At the point where you die, or? I didn't get your point, Rick.
Okay, maybe I got sidetracked there. Let's just carry on.
By the way, it's Chandor here. I was listening through Bluetooth headphones, and I rushed back to the computer when Caroline told about is the soul coming from the sun. So I'd like to share something about old teachings which were transmitted through folklore. So just I need to find a word to translate. How you call that? Better I see in the dictionary. Just a second. Wikipedia. Just a second.
The beauty is, while Sander is doing his research, is now go back to the Mayas and the Egyptians. Where is the worshipping of the life placed in the sun? And it's always positioned at the highest. So I think they knew that the sun was life.
Yeah, but may I? When does the sun get its light and energy?
Sorry, before to go to that question, if I may do some illustration. We had in our folklore tradition from how women were wearing their hair, and while they were unmarried, they had their hair braided in this way. You know, this style of braid. And when they got married,
we can't see anything, Sander.
Because I moved it. When they got married, they changed their hairstyle. Of course, they covered their hair when they went into the public. But because the hair was considered magic, no other man than husband should see it. But when they got married, they put their hair in this style. So the braid changed in this way. I don't know the English word for this hairstyle.
A bun, a hair bun.
How to say it? B-U?
B-U-N.
B-U-N, a bun.
Yeah.
So now the interesting part comes in. So I listened to some research of a popular or folklore, such a soul researcher. He's very old, he's in his 80s, and he went from villages to find out about the old tradition and about the spirit or soul of the people. Sorry, I had to stop this air conditioner to not make noise. And he told something interesting, that children, when they start drawing, they draw something like this before, but later a boy always makes this drawing, and the girls used to make drawings with such a small princess. All the girls in all the world, they draw such a princess, and they put a nest on their head. There is the sun, which shines, and always they draw a bird, a flying bird. And what's interesting, in the kindergarten, the educators are trained to annihilate these patterns, to destroy these patterns with which every boy and girl are born. So they have to teach them to not draw these things, but to draw something else. But what's interesting, it's about this bun. It's in the shape of a nest, a bird's nest. So when a woman is younger, the bun is on the top of her head, and later that moves. With age, it moves a little bit. It slips in the backside. But it's like a bird's nest. And there is a village, an area 50 kilometers north from where I live, where they used to put on it even a small bird made of wood. And they put it there. And you have to know about the bird, that in our folklore here, the bird is that one which brings the light from the sun. It's the mediator from the sun to us, because the bird flies high and it brings the energy of the sun. It's in a symbolic way. And when the researcher, the folklorist, asks women why they put that little bird on that nest made of hair on the bun, they say, yes, we know that the child comes from the husband, but we put it for the purpose to have a child. It will not harm to put that bird there. So it's the tradition that the bird coming to the nest, it brings the energy of the sun in order to bring a child in a woman's life. Although they know that, of course, there is need for a man.
Sander.
So this is interesting. It's an old teaching since thousands of years, which was given forward and forward by habits, traditions. Yes.
Sander, I
yes.
can kiss you.
You're welcome. So thank you for the opportunity to say about.
I can kiss you.
Okay, and if you look at to all the representations from the actual Iran, from the past, or from Sumer, you will see there a goddess, picture of a goddess, Anahita, if I'm not wrong, which always have such kind of things on the head, like a half moon. It's also like a nest. You find that in the drawings of the girls, and you find that in the tradition, in that bun. So that was it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. So I think this was more than a beautiful confirmation that we actually come not from this planet, at least not the soul, that it's created because of the positioning between the earth and the sun is the interaction. And he has thrown so many hints about it because he was very clear in his explaining why the sun suddenly in the teachings became so important. But I never could stand still. I understood the interaction between the moon and the sun and the earth and so many other things, but my God. Thank you for Mr. Keshe coming in to butt us. How much time is left, Rick?
We're at negative 20 minutes. In other words, we should have ended 20 minutes ago. So perhaps we should wrap it up here because we have another meeting after this and then another management meeting after that for some people and so on. There's meetings upon meetings here.
Yeah, I know. But it's a beautiful...
beautiful teaching today. It was very good. And I think we have something to go on tomorrow and keep chasing this.
Oh my God, we're gonna ask Mr. Keshe first thing tomorrow morning, don't we?
Excuse me, can I just read 2-3 verses of the second chapter of Quran, which is very general about teaching. So Mr. Keshe might answer that also. It's short, it's 3 minutes, 2 minutes.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
We close down the meeting with a lot of hope in our hearts that we came to understand something today.
And so this chapter, which is Cow, the second chapter, which is named Cow, it starts with three mysterious letters, Aleph, Lam, Mim, A-L-M, which doesn't explain what it is, 3 letters. And then it says, this is a book which is surely a guide for those who are who believe in right and wrong or something like that, who preserve themselves of doing bad things or something like that. And these people believe in non-visible and they do some sort of meditation or praying or whatever it could mean, something just to connect yourself with yourself. And from what we gave them, they give to others. And these people believe in what has been sent to you. I mean, actual prophet was Muhammad, and the other prophets before you, and they believe in the day after, which would come. And they would profit from guidance of God, of their Lord, and they will be successful. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
We're
you.
going to for today. We have, as Rick said, another meeting coming up. I think we have received a lot of gifts today, although we didn't finish certain parts, but as we said, I think when the time is right, we will be able to finish those. I wish you all a good night, or a good morning, or a good afternoon, and thank you so much for being present today in the teachings.
Good afternoon.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Caroline. It was very good today. And we will continue to penetrate these secrets as we go along. Okay, let's end the Blueprint for Peace for Humanity for today, day 18. That was the afternoon session for Monday, July 31st, 2017. And stay tuned for Blueprint for Peace for Humanity, day 19, tomorrow. That'll be Tuesday, August 1st. And we'll get closer to that August 2nd and 3rd, where we understand a lot of things are going to be going on. So, attention, the suspense builds here as we go. It's very, very exciting, actually. It's a wonderful process. Thank you all so much.
We're going to go and sing.
I'm going to go sing? Pardon me? Say that again. It broke up.
I said, we're going to go out dancing.
Oh, dancing. Yes. Okay, well, we could. Flint, you got some dance music for us? All right.
Yeah.
Might as well put it on.
And the meeting for the members is in 15 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Good night. Go dancing, enjoy, and learn your numbers.
Okay, I'll get it here in just a minute.
All right, thank you. And that's all for the 18th Blueprint for Peace for Humanity. Thank you, everybody, for attending. We'll end the live stream.